Right then, let's get into our first qualifying session of the season. It's been a while since we've done career mode. When I simulated practice, I realised I've made a mistake. I didn't change the session length back up to a 50% race. So for round one at the moment, we're just going to have to put up with the 25%, which is a bit boring, I know. But hopefully qualifying we've obviously kept qualifying full. So hopefully qualifying can, spice things up. We don't know where everyone is. We're in a new team as well, so we've got to get used to the new car. And yeah, there's a few driver moves as well, so we'll see how the other drivers do in different teams.
Well, as the sun goes down, the speeds go up. It's almost time to get underway for this shootout for the fastest time and the best possible grid position for tomorrow's race. Let's get on with it. It's qualifying for the Bahrain Grand Prix.
I forgot to change my helmet too. I'm kind of not liking it, to be fair, my helmet. So yeah, I'll try and remember to do that and to change the session length. But do need a setup for Bahrain because obviously everything got completely wiped with the handling change since we last done Bahrain. So yeah, just bear with while I do this. Oh. Wait, what? Oh. Yeah, I was gonna say. I read the wrong bit. There's like an add in between the same bit, part of the setup, so I got a bit confused then. But it's all good, sorted. We will do a longer stream today because obviously I haven't streamed for a while now. I haven't really been able to get round to it, to be fair. So yeah, let's look through the grid then. We'll look at our driver transfers. So Ricciardo is back in F1. Of course, we replaced him for last season, for the first season. Stroll is in Sauber. Not sure if that will make a difference. Tsunoda is in Ferrari. He replaces Carlos Sainz. Then there's Sainz, who has replaced Tsunoda in VCARB. So back with the Red Bull program, and of course ourselves in Aston Martin. Bottas is no longer driving, so I mean he did quite good last season, I can't lie, for Sauber. He gained them a few points, but yeah, they just decided to get rid of him. So as the sessions go on, obviously we'll get to know how the grid's really looking. But yeah, it's time for our first run in the brand new season. Yep, don't tell me about the ERS, please. I had enough of that last season.
Think about how you might use them on race day. I'll check back with you soon to chat more about it.
So everyone's going very slowly out the pits. I don't want to get a penalty for holding off and up, so we're just going to blast through. I haven't really played F1 too long as well, so not properly anyway. So just got to try and like get used to it again, really. So it might be a bit of a shit position for our first run, as long as we get through, which we should do. Then we'll be okay. Oh. Our teammate and Gasly there having a bit of a squabble. But what we've got to do this season is really outperform the Alpines, because of course we had secret meetings with them throughout last season and we declined it halfway through the meetings. So what we've got to do is prove that we've made the right choice here, kind of like a Fernando Alonso or Oscar Piastri kind of thing to do, and typically enough it's against Alpine as well. So yeah, we'll see if we can do that very soon. One more corner to go and then we're on a flying lap, so yeah, let's do this. Albon in front of us won't be improving, I don't think, because he had a massive lock up at turn 1 if you didn't see it. Bit slidey through this lap, but is it enough? It is enough. We're through and into third, so a good start. Still getting used to the car as well, so yeah, we're matching our teammate almost as well, so that's a very good start. To be up in P2 and P3, but knocked out is Stroll in his new team, the 2 Hasses and the 2 Williams as well. Perez, who stayed in the garage, has nearly got knocked out as well. By a tiny amount he's stayed in by. He's very lucky there that Stroll didn't improve by that little bit more, or maybe that Albon made that mistake into turn 1. Because that definitely cost him over 3/10. So Perez could have been out if it wasn't for that. On to Q2 though. Leclerc is fastest at the moment, but only by a tiny margin. Right, let's fast forward again.
Clear the garage, please. Car's ready to leave.
So at the moment, Alonso is quickest, our teammate. So it's going to be a very challenging season, I'm pretty sure, and I can feel a teammate rivalry coming on this season between ourselves and Fernando Alonso. The knockout zone is looking pretty interesting at the moment. So Ricciardo in 11th, then Perez in the Red Bull. Of course, he was very close to being knocked out in Q1. Sainz in his new RB, and Zhou, and then of course ourselves, but we haven't set a lap time yet, which we will get round to doing soon. Just we need to be a bit patient. But yeah, as I was saying, I can really feel a teammate rivalry, maybe even for the championship. I know it's early doors at the moment, don't want to say too much and build our hopes up for the season just based off one single session of qualifying, but we are looking quick as a team. It's either going to be Fernando is faster than you or Edwards is faster than you on either radio. Or will there even be team orders? We'll find out as the season progresses. This is only round 1 of 16, nope. Still a long way to go. We start flying lap in Q2.
Seconds left in the session. Drop to P15.
Around the final corner, the knockout zone has stayed the exact same, but who have we knocked out, or have we even got out of Q2? We have. We're into Q3, second fastest lap time, so I'm pretty sure that we've split both McLarens. Let's have a look though. Yep. And interestingly, Tsunoda in his Ferrari has been knocked out only by 6 thousandths to Gasly. So that's also Perez out, both RBs, and the other Sauber of Zhou. So very interesting qualifying so far. It's looking like it, well, I mean, it could be anyone but the Mercs and the Alpines on pole, I'm pretty sure, because McLaren have had the fastest lap time. We've been consistently in the top 3 for the past 2 sessions. Alonso's also been there. Verstappen, he's been up there as well. And Leclerc had the fastest lap time in Q1, so this could be anyone's. This is really anyone's to play for as we go into Q3. So then, Also, there's a new patch on Monday, if you didn't know. A lot of fixes. I can't remember them off the top of my head. The only one that stood out to me was car is going to be more off balance after being on curbs. So Monday, another it's basically another handling patch. Also various like minor fixes as usual. There's a lot more else as well on the patch notes, but yeah, it's going to be more unsettled after hitting curbs, so we've got to get used to not riding the curbs too much now, as it might affect our performance as the season goes on with the updates. But interestingly, as I said, Mercedes and Alpine probably won't be on pole. There's a Mercedes in third, and I'm pretty sure that Gasly is in fifth or fourth, either one of the two. So yeah, and both McLarens are down in 7th and 8th. So my prediction is no prediction. I cannot predict what's going to happen in this quali session. You know, track is at its best, drivers are at the quickest. This is anyone's. This is the whole top 10 to play for. It's not like we're all separated by a massive margin, because if you remember on F1 23, our final season on there, we had a regulation change and it completely spread everyone apart. But this regulation change, it's kind of kept people closer together, to be fair, which is the main point of reg changes. So I'm glad that that's happened. I'm glad that we're not all like 4 seconds out of each other and everything. So yeah, let's do our final lap of qualifying and make it a good one. To the line now. Where is it going to be? P3. So consistently over 3 sessions in the top 3. A very good qualifying for us in our first race for Aston Martin as well. We've been out qualified though by Alonso.
Be sure to join us then for what will no doubt be a fantastic race.
So we've been out qualified by our teammate by the smallest of margins, but Verstappen gets pole position by 4 tenths. Where has that come from? He's not been the quickest in any of the sessions, and he just pulls that much out of the bag. It's almost like real life, but yeah, just as I was saying about the gaps, he goes and pulls out like a 4/10 gap over second place. So way to ruin what I've said. But anyway, that is your grid for this shorter race. A surprise qualifying from the Mercedes of Russell and from the Alpine of Pierre Gasly, but our main objective is complete from what we've set ourselves, which is to outperform the two Alpines. We've done that by a country mile over Esteban Ocon, but Gasly, it's only a 3/10 gap, so maybe he's the one to look out for this season as well in our outer team rivalry. But anyway, let's carry on and get to the race as soon as we can.
No more testing, no more practice. This is the real deal, and it's make or break here at round one of this year's Formula One World Championship. We go racing today around the 3.36 miles of the magnificent Bahrain International Circuit, with 15 corners and 2 good passing opportunities into turns 1 and 4. Keep an eye out for drivers locking the front left tyre into the tricky braking zone of turn 10. Let's run you through the driver grid order for today's exciting race. Max Verstappen put in a fantastic lap yesterday, and he'll start from pole position. And it's Fernando Alonso alongside. Looking at the rest of today's grid, we have Edwards, Russell, Gasly, Leclerc, Oscar Piastri, Hamilton, Norris, Ocon, Tsunoda, Ricciardo, Perez, Sainz, Zhou, Stroll, Hulkenberg, Magnussen, Albon, and Logan Sargent. Which of these talented drivers will come out on top today? And striding into our commentary box to join us today, the man, the myth, the legend, Anthony Davidson. Now, Ant, as much as I like testing, and I do love testing, and I've really enjoyed the build-up here and all the speculation, I really want to see some action. And finally today, we get some proper action on the track.
You're going to definitely see action, Crofty. Everyone's G'd up for this one. They've done the testing like you say. The drivers will be revving inside, heart rates going, trying to burst out their chest at this moment. With that anticipation, who's got the speed? We're going to learn now, once and for all.
So then, we've got the quali pace to be in P3, but have we got the race pace to stay here, or to even progress further up the 2 positions that we need to get that race win in the first round? We won't set our sights too high, but at the moment we're on for a podium from where we're starting. So simple one stop, 7 laps on the softs, 7 laps on the mediums, because dumb me forgot to change the race distance before simulating practice. So that's why we've got a short race today, folks. But anyway, let's get into it. Let's see where everyone's at in race pace. It's 5 red lights now and they're out, and we're underway. It's a very, very wheel spin start for both me and Alonso there. Russell gets a great start. Is he going to launch it down the inside of Verstappen? He doesn't, but it's 3 wide between myself, Leclerc and Gasly. We win out that battle and we keep our P3, but a very, very bad start for both myself and Alonso there. We just couldn't get the traction off the line, and it's still feeling very slidey actually, very weird. But now it's time to focus on this race and to do the best that we can to stay with Russell, and hopefully Russell can stay with Verstappen too. I kind of forgot who was champion last season. I think it was Max. I'm pretty sure it was Max. So Leclerc's not using the number 1, and the AI tend to change the number to number 1. So yeah, Leclerc won it, was like winning the championship the whole way through last season until the last round, and he completely lost it. So anyway, we will carry on. DRS will be enabled when we cross the finish line, but we won't have it until the next straight. So hopefully we can use DRS on Russell to you know, sort of slingshot ourselves at Verstappen.
DRS is being enabled this lap. We can use DRS when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
Leclerc, he's got other ideas, and he sends it down the inside, which isn't good for us, because the more battle we do, the less, you know, the more time we're losing to Russell and Verstappen. So not ideal there. Stay ahead of him for the next straight because of the DRS.
Take button more. It's time to utilise some of this energy. Come on.
Ooh, nearly spinning there. It's a very spinny car, this Aston Martin is. I'm not giving Victits an excuse for in real life, but you know, we haven't got the DRS on Russell, crucially. That's 4 different constructors in the top 4 though, which is good to see, and obviously a lot more constructor in the top 10 altogether. We've got the Alpine and the McLaren as well, so that's 6 constructors in this top 10 at the moment, from what I know. Right, we're back in the DRS of Russell, which is very, very crucial for our race. It helps us defend against Leclerc as well. But yeah, this car is just very, very slidey, as our teammate is having trouble fighting Piastri there, as we saw them swap positions momentarily. And maybe again down this next straight. Yep, there it is, into turn 4. But Alonso stays ahead at the moment. But also, what also could be crucial from the performance of Perez in qualifying is Red Bull could actually lose the Constructors' Championship this season. Last season they didn't lose it at the end because Perez was performing to what he should be. He was always up there. But obviously he started out the season quite similarly to how he has this season as well. As we've now got the DRS on Russell once more towards turn 1. We've run out of DRS. We're going to save a little bit as we go side by side through turn 1, trying to look around the outside, get the throttle down, get the DRS as well. Leclerc makes it 3 wide into turn 4. This can only end in tears, as there's a bit of contact between myself and Russell. Leclerc and Russell still going side by side. We're up into P2 though, which is the main thing. Got to try and chase down Verstappen, who is on the same strategy as us, soft to mediums. Medium do seem to be the better tyres in terms of traction. Well, that's what we got off the start anyway, so hopefully they're a lot better tyre than what I'm feeling of these softs. But Russell's coming back at us. We're going to let him go there because we don't want to battle him too much. It's just going to hinder both of our races, to be fair. We want to use each other's DRSs and slipstream as much as we can to try and catch Verstappen, who's got a 3-second lead.
We're approaching the pit window and you're going to be on mediums. Green flag.
And there's a yellow flag behind us. That could be crucial. It could mean a safety car if it's you know, a big hindrance on the track. I think it might have only been a spin. We'll have a look now, see what's happened. Yep, it's a spin. It's for I can't tell because it's stuck backwards. It's for Ricciardo. So Ricciardo, who was running in quite a good position in his first race back in Formula 1, is now plumb last because of a mistake on his own behalf. So not a very good start for Ricciardo. But it seems that Piastri's fully past our teammate now. We're really losing grip on these softs. You know what? I think I'm going to do an alternate strategy. We're going to peel it off into the pits this lap. Still going to stay on them. No, we're not actually. We'll go on to the hard tyres. Because these tyres feel shot. Hopefully we can get an undercut out of this.
There seems to have been a problem removing the right rear wheel. We need to try and put it behind us.
Well, we won't
though,
if
and
that
let's finish
happens,
this
which it
race
has
strong.
happened obviously. So that's not very good. Ricardo's really far behind.
Pit strategy
I mean, look at that,
complete.
we've made a
See
pit
these
stop
tyres through
and
to the end
we're
now.
still out ahead of him by a mile. He must not have recovered very well after his spin. Now we just got to
Okay,
try and...
mate, engine's running very hot. Engine very hot. Let's try and pull out from behind the car in front and cool things down.
What? Anyway, just got to try and warm up these tyres, do this objective, push as hard as what we can to get this undercut on Verstappen, or to try and at least get closer to him. Even if we don't overtake him, if we're in DRS, then that's the best I could hope for. Got to another extra lap to do this because Verstappen's pit lap would be the same as what mine was, which was lap 7. Stroll's come into the pits, and so is Ocon and Leclerc. Ocon and Leclerc both opting for the hard tyres.
Leclerc's in the pits.
And there he is, Charles Leclerc. He's up our inside, coming out of the pits. But we're ahead, which is the main thing. Our front tyres though, I keep on noticing our external temperatures. They keep on going very cold going down a straight. So obviously that's not ideal by the time we come to a braking zone or a corner.
Okay, gap to the car in front, 4.9 seconds. Yes, mate, we hit the target. Nice work.
Not going to fight Leclerc too much. Verstappen is actually side by side with a Williams. He's stuck behind him now, which is good. He's being held up, but we have not undercut him whatsoever. We've actually lost time, so we've made the decision. It's not changed much. You know, we're only on a different compound of tyres than what we're supposed to be. It's not a big deal, and at the moment he's being held up by the Williams, the Sargent, so hopefully Leclerc can do some work here and pull us both up to the back of him before he gets round him, or before Sargent peels off into the pit lane, which is already happening now. There we go, Verstappen's passed him, so yeah, he's just going to carry on pushing now and get away from us. Unless he has a failure or a spin of some sort, there's no way that we're winning, any of us.
Fernando's in the pits.
There's Russell as well.
ERS is low.
Oh my god.
So your ERS is running a bit low. Look into changing your ERS mode in the MFD for a more conservative burn rate, or you might want to try some lifting or gentle braking to recharge.
So our race really looking like it's Leclerc and Russell. Hamilton's managed to jump himself up into P6. It's very good for the Mercedes team. That obviously means that Alonso is further down the order. Of course, we've still got Sargent left to pit as well. He's up in P2. Surprised he's not got a nosebleed.
Okay, so the car behind's just come in. They're now on the soft tyre. Soft tyres on the car behind.
Ah, that's going to be something. So Russell's on the soft, so he's going to be way quicker. Sargent comes into the pits then.
Okay, mate, that's Russell just ahead. Push for the position. We don't want to let this hold us up too long, so do your best to get past and get on with the race.
Overtake Leclerc. What? As you said, Russell's ahead of us, so why overtake Leclerc? Gotta stay in the DRS then.
Okay, let's try and overtake them now.
Okay, shut up. Engineer, quiet.
Copy.
He does my head in. This game is so much more annoying. Yeah, there's no way that I'm keeping in the DRS of that. No chance. Something just feels very weird. I don't know what it is, but it just feels really, really weird. And I'm not trying to make excuses here. Like, the front end is just horrible. Really is. Russell's actually gaining to Verstappen a lot here. This could be a last lap battle between Verstappen and Russell for the lead. I hope it is. Yeah, our race pace, certainly for this one, definitely isn't there. Something that we're going to have to work on. But, yeah, no, it's been a difficult race. Very difficult. Right from the start. But we've still managed to only drop one position from our grid slot. Despite the difficult race, we've just got to keep an eye on that gap behind as well. There's no use trying to even do that objective. There's no chance that we're going to do that, so I'm not even bothered about that. I'm just focused on behind now, because Hamilton on those soft tyres, Piastri on the softs as well. They could catch up to us and take away a P4 that has been hardly fought for. Could have had P2, but yeah, this second half of the race has been the most difficult, for definite. I don't think that Russell's catching Verstappen anymore.
Okay, mate, that still wasn't quite what we needed, I'm afraid, but look, let's move on. Get your head down and chin up and focus till the end of the race.
We're going to save our ERS this lap and put it in hot lap for the final lap. So then on to the final lap we're going to go. Who is going to come home in second place? Would it be Leclerc or Russell? As they go side by side now, I can see further down the straight. Into turn 1 they go. Leclerc is ahead at the moment. Russell has now done a switchback and got ahead of Leclerc again. So this is the last lap battle, as they're still squabbling actually towards turn 4. Both side by side going through here. Leclerc has got the move done on George, but there's still one more DRS straight and one more normal straight before positions can be decided. Russell couldn't do anything down that DRS straight. He's quite far back actually now, going down this straight. Whether he can do anything before the line is another question, but it's going to be very rare, and it's going to be Max Verstappen who wins the first race of the season. Leclerc in second, Russell in third, and we just miss out on the podium positions.
Take care of the car on the way in.
The checkered flag is out. We're going to be hearing that Dutch national anthem again, because it's victory for Max Verstappen.
Well, you're always unsure of the competition and what your opponents have been able to do in the off-season, Crofty, but they've come here today, they've delivered the performance that you dream about, and wow, did they make that car sing today. Really impressive stuff.
The drivers are en route to the podium as we speak. What a fantastic win for the Red Bull team. They performed exceptionally today, keeping us firmly on the edge of our seats throughout the entirety of the race. Congratulations to everybody at the team. With that, we wrap up another weekend of motorsport action. But with more races lined up, be sure to join us when we come back with more Formula One.
So then, first race is done. Obviously it was a shorter race than what we're used to doing in the career mode. Verstappen didn't change positions. I think he's probably the only one to do that. Leclerc finished in second place, and Russell rounds out the podium. We just about miss out on the podium, but it's our first race for Aston Martin, and we've beat our teammate who started ahead of us, so it's not all bad. Hamilton in 5th, Piastri in 6th, Tsunoda in 7th for his first race with Ferrari, Alonso in 8th after starting in 2nd. A pretty miserable race from the start for him. Perez managed to get himself back up into the top 10. He got P9, and Norris rounds out the top 10. Surprisingly there, Gasly, who started in 5th place, finishes in P19. Whether he had a spin that I'm not entirely sure of, or something like that, I don't know. But whatever happened, it was a miserable race for him. And yeah, it's pretty all to play for, to be fair, between the outsiders, I like to call them all, of the top 10, because you know you've got an Alpine there, a V-Carb there, a Sauber there, a Haas there, the Williams are both kind of together all the time, but you kind of get what I mean. But yeah, not a very interesting first race of the season. This is how the constructors lines up then. Red Bull in first, of course, with Verstappen's win and Perez managing to secure the 2 points. Verstappen also getting fastest lap too, so he takes the maximum points home from this weekend. Mercedes are on 25 points, just 3 points behind them, and 1 point behind Mercedes is Ferrari, with Leclerc's second place and Tsunoda's 7th place. Then it's ourselves in fourth with 16 points, and then McLaren are in 5th. The rest of the teams, the rest of the 5 teams, scoring no points in this first race. But it's a long season. Let's move on to round 2. So then, I wanted to change my helmet, so let's do that. So let's set our goals then for the, what weekend is it? The Chinese weekend. We had a pretty good race last season, I remember. It was our first podium of the season. So let's complete 4 sessions without damaging your car. Q1, Q2, Q3 race. It's a sprint, isn't it? Is it a sprint? I'm pretty sure it is. Oh, we're fine then. We'll do that one. We won't try the teammate one. We'll do the better than 7th. We'll do that one.
today, all the new parts have been fabricated and we're going to have them with us for the next Grand Prix.
So then a few upgrades has put us third in the R&D chart. We'll see exactly where we are when we get into this weekend. Right, we need to remember to change the race distance. Ah, yay. Great. Both qualifyings have rain. There we go. Sorted now. So then McLaren upgrading into this weekend. The same with every team. Every team this weekend has upgraded. McLaren the most actually, so improving their car even further for this season. So yeah, very interesting. Haas have re-overtook Sauber. We've obviously overtook Ferrari and Mercedes. So yeah, there we go. Let's do the one and only quick practice. Try and get the resource points from it. We also need aero. A reduction in the upgrades. Well, the price of the upgrades. Our PU isn't too bad. Neither is our reliability. We'll do that. And we'll just do this one. Nice. Got what we needed from that quick practice. So let's get into the sprint qualifying then. I can't speak today. We can't afford any upgrades. So yeah, we'll just go straight into it.
Now here's something we haven't said for a little while. Welcome along to qualifying in China. After a few years absence from the calendar, it is great to be back here. But just who is going to put their car on pole?
So it's still putting us on the mediums, even though the track is wet, and it quite clearly says that as well. A few guys going out on track already. We're gonna do what we usually do. There's nothing different, and we'll skip to the end of the qualifying session. Try and save a bit of time. Oh shit, I forgot a setup. Need to do this quickly. Fuck. Right. China. Fuck. I can pause. It's okay. I forgot I can pause. I'm used to online sessions. Alright, this is fine. It's okay. That would have been horrendous having to go without a setup at China. Would have been very embarrassing too. We've got to do this quickly. Right, let's go. The rest is fine. Shit. Come on, China. There we go, let's get out.
Okay guys, everyone be aware, the car's ready to go.
God. Just in time. You've got to watch out for the other guys on laps as well now. Track still feels a little bit wet. It's definitely slidey and understeery and everything.
And we've been pushed down to P20.
But the best about this is we do get the best of the track. So yeah, it's not too bad going out too late. Yeah, as long as it's not too late to the point where you're missing the flag. We could actually help out our teammate here as well. We're gonna do that. Not that he needs it, but So then, let's go for our own lap.
30 seconds left in the session.
I don't know what Tsunoda's doing here. My heading by the looks of it.
Drop to P20.
A great lap puts us P1 in SQ1. Of course, rain always throws things about a little bit. We definitely got the best of the track there. Tsunoda and Alonso both getting the exact same time as one another there, so that's very cool to see. We're 1.6 ahead of Verstappen because of the track evolution, just over one lap. Let's see who got knocked. Ferrari's strategy strikes again. Leclerc is out in SQ1 because they did not send him back out onto the track. The same with Gasly and Alpine. So we've got 5 different constructors knocked out in SQ1 there. This could be an exciting sprint because usually when there's a quick car at the back, it's good to see them get their way through. It could cause some mayhem. That's 2 quick cars at the back, or near the back. Very interesting by Ferrari, very interesting by Alpine as well to send out Gasly when they did. Of course we saw him come back into the garage just before we got sent out. Sorry. And now it's fully dry in SQ2. So we haven't got to worry about setup this time, we're fine. We're all good. We can get out there with plenty of time. It's looking pretty close to top 10. All within 5 tenths. You know, there's 1,000 between Ricciardo and Hamilton as well, so... yeah, Sainz is up there in P4. In a V-carb. I mean, to be fair, we did kind of drag V-carb up there last season, so that's no surprise actually. But it is kind of a surprise to see an AI doing well in a V-carb, because obviously Tsunoda last season when he was our teammate wasn't doing all that great. So yeah, it's good to see. It is good to see. Now it's nice and bright. Track's fully dry. We've got a lot of grip. I can feel it already. Just by the outlap.
Right, Alright, that's us pushed down into P15.
So let's go on to our flying lap in SQ2 then. A bit bumpy there through turn 1. Not ideal. We carry on anyway. This is the only chance that we've got of a lap, so we may as well put one in.
We've dropped to P15.
Is that P1 again? Yes, it is. Nice lap again, despite that mistake early on. So then, that's, wow, a V-carve into the top 10 shootout. Alonso just about scraping through there. Ocon gets knocked out, joins his teammate Gasly in the knockout. Ricciardo gets knocked out, the only V-carve to be knocked out. Williams both knocked out now. Sauber and Haas as well. Albon, Stroll, Hulkenberg respectively out qualifying their teammates. Now it's the top 10 shootout. We've got one V-carb and one Ferrari, 2 Astons, 2 McLarens, 2 Red Bulls, 2 Mercedes. We've got P1 in both sprint qualifying so far, so can we translate that into a sprint pole? We'll see. It's looking likely. We are quite quick at China. I do like it. They've definitely made this track better in this game since, you know, the days of 2019 and stuff, so let's fast forward. We only need to fast forward about 4 minutes. And then we'll be out on track. So at the moment, Verstappen is quickest once more, then Norris, then Alonso, then Perez actually showing up for once, Tsunoda in 5th, Piastri, Russell, Hamilton, and then Sainz in 9th.
Checks complete.
Now it's our
Everyone
time.
be aware, we've got a car leaving the garage.
First laps on the softs as well at this track for this season. So we'll see how much more quicker we can go. Everyone's only just coming back into the pits. I don't think that they're going to have another lap. Which is very interesting that they'll do the lap first rather than wait. But there's actually a McLaren who's out on track just ahead of us. Not sure who that is. But as myself and the McLaren and whoever else decides to get out quickly, we'll have the best of the track once more. And we'll probably be front in the grid. I don't think that anyone else is out on track but me and this McLaren. So it's a two-car shootout basically now. Who can get the fastest time? Let's just check who that McLaren is. It's Piastri in 6th, so he's got a lot to improve on. His teammate's up there in 2nd, he can definitely do it. Now that's more like it into turn 1. That's what I was looking for in SQ2. Doesn't seem like Piastri's improved. But we have though, of course, and we're up into P1. That's pole position, our first one of the season already. But it is only for the sprint race, of course. So I'll take that anyway. We're at the front of the grid. There's a possibility of getting maximum points this weekend. Let's just say that. But it's not by the margin that I thought it would be by. It's less than a tenth between ourselves and Verstappen, so pretty close still, pretty close. I thought it would have been, you know, about 2/10, because that felt like a really good lap, that did. But obviously, Verstappen also did a very good lap, just as was that little bit better. So there's your grid then for the sprint race. There's a top 10 at least. Yeah. Tsunoda out qualifies Leclerc through default. and we will move on to the sprint then. So it's a 10 lap sprint race then. I'll see how I feel whether we do the main qualifying and the main race. Most likely we'll do, but let's just focus on the sprint for now.
Forget pit stops, forget fuel management. It's pedal to the metal all the way here as we get ready for today's sprint. We start a lap here at Shanghai with the long, difficult right-handers of turns 1 and 2, the first of 16 corners that make up this 3.3-mile circuit. The incredibly long back straight provides the best passing opportunity of the lap, with speeds in excess of 200 miles per hour before we head into the braking zone of turn 14. Off the back of a fantastic qualifying session, it's time to see how our starting grid looks for today's sprint. Edwards lines up on pole position, edging out Max Verstappen, who'll start from P2. As we continue through the rest of the grid today, we have Norris, Fernando Alonso, Perez, Tsunoda, Oscar Piastri, Russell, Hamilton, Sainz, Ocon, Ricciardo, Albon, Stroll, Hülkenberg, Leclerc, Gasly, Magnussen, Joe, and Logan Sargent. And with preparations almost complete, let's head trackside for today's sprint. And alongside me today is a man who needs no introduction, but I'll try anyway. It's Ant Davidson. Well, they say that a change is as good as a rest, and whilst there's not much rest on show in the sprint format today, there's definitely a change to what we're usually seeing on the track. I know what we've got to do before the start of today's race, but what about our...
No. Right, so it's just a straight race all the way through. Sprint to the end, 10 laps on the medium tyres. Unless we get a safety car, then we might think about switching to the softs. But we have got to save a set for the main qualifying and the main race, so it's highly unlikely. Let's get into it. Once again, a very bad start from us. You know, struggling with the traction there. Verstappen gets a great start, of course, puts himself up into P1. Norris tries looking up the inside of turn 2, but just can't get anything done. So he squeezed him out. We can't let Verstappen get away here. We've got to stay with him as much as we can. This is our strong track, and it has been since last season, our first season. So let's make it count. Try and get these maximum points while we can. Take them away from Verstappen. There's Tsunoda and I'm pretty sure it's Russell, both having a massive battle. This top 5 is now completely separated from the rest of the pack. It's only lap 1 and look at that gap. Tsunoda wins out that battle, by the way. But anyway, chase down Verstappen, down the straight, getting a little bit of slipstream, gaining slowly but surely up to the back of him, but not close enough. It would be very stupid to send any kind of move from that far back, as Tsunoda and Russell both going at it once more into the hairpin, and into the final corner they go.
DRS will be enabled this lap. You can use it when you're within 1 second of the car ahead and in the DRS zone.
But this is good. This shows that we've made improvements since Bahrain. Verstappen was able to get away straight away in Bahrain. Might be a different, you know, track and everything, but we're able to stay with him. Which is the main thing. Russell has won out that battle between himself and Tsunoda now. Pretty sure that Tsunoda's found himself battling with the McLaren of Piastri. I hope that we got that DRS then. It's very close. Yes, we did. Thank God. From a very long way back, we managed to get side by side with Verstappen there. And we still are. Into the final corner. Up the inside. Get the move done. And now Norris is looking for the move on Verstappen. Here we go. Norris could be going for the lead here into turn 1, but he backs out and doesn't bother sending one up the inside. Our teammate Alonso gets the fastest lap, which is, you know, it's useless in the sprint race, of course. No extra point for it, so but at least we know that we've got the fastest car, or Alonso's got the fastest car on the grid at the moment. So yeah, Norris goes round the outside there as we were in non-ERS mode, so it was kind of expected there. And Norris is your new sprint leader. 3 different leaders in 3 laps, and there's a yellow flag back there. I'm not sure who that's for, but it's someone in the top 10 with an engine failure, and it's Piastri. Piastri is out because of an engine failure. I'd be worried if I were Norris. No smoke or anything coming out the back of Piastri's car, so probably an electrical fault of some sort. Let's see the top 8 then. Sainz has got himself in that top 8 in the V-Carb, which is very good to see. It's good to see your former team doing so well. Took over where I left off. And here we go once more down the kilometre-long straight with the DRS on Lando. And there's another yellow flag behind us. Not sure what's happening today. It's Tsunoda. Tsunoda this time. He's got a problem of some sort. Let's go on board with him and have a look at this. So it's an engine failure. Complete engine failure. Smoke pouring out the back of that Ferrari. So 2 failures in 1 lap in the sprint, which is very unusual. But we've now got 18 runners left in this sprint race, and they're both pretty 2 big runners as well. You know, Leclerc, of course, he was on the podium last race, so Ferrari's a quick car. So Tsunoda is a big loss to this race. Someone inside the top 8, and obviously Piastri, he was in the top 8. His teammate is currently leading this sprint, so another fast car out of this race due to reliability problems, and that promotes Sainz up another position as well, into P7 I'm pretty sure, and Hamilton into P8. Leclerc has found himself up into P11 now. He's made his way through nicely, but of course top 10 doesn't score points, it's the top 8, and that's why I've been focused so much on the top 8. I doubt that we're going to see any more reliability failures, but it's more action than what we've seen in Bahrain in the main race itself, so that's good at least. That we've got more action already in the sprint. This could be a good weekend. Hopefully it's more exciting in the main race as well.
Caution, caution.
There's still yellow flags at the end of this straight for Tsunoda's car. Can we get the move done before the yellow flags though? The yellow flags have gone. Norris moves over quite late there. It was very close to contact, but Tsunoda's yellow flags got removed just in time there, so we could actually send one down the inside. We go for a switchback move now on Norris, going down the pitch straight using ERS, DRS. It's a drag race towards turn 1 now. We're around the outside. Norris still on our inside though, into turn 2 now. Very reminiscent of lap 1. But we managed to stay ahead of Norris, and we've just got to save up our ERS now for the whole of this lap. This top 5 has stayed very close this whole race. We're at the half distance now of this race. Russell is catching as well. So yeah, it's shaping up to be a very interesting sprint still. Hopefully we come out on top, but I can't promise you anything, as everyone's quite close to one another in this top 5, and of course with Russell catching as well, it could even be his race. So we're going to go down the kilometre straight. This time we're at the disadvantage for the first time, actually, believe it or not, in this whole sprint. We're at the disadvantage with no DRS or no slipstream from anyone ahead of us. But we've got our ERS, our overtake mode is keeping us ahead. So as long as we keep saving and then using our ERS down that straight, I'm pretty sure that we will be just fine. Pretty sure that Gasly's in P7. No, it's not Gasly, it's Ocon, of course. So not a lot else has happened. Russell and Tsunoda had a collision while they were battling, but obviously it's not affected either of them too much. Tsunoda out from an engine failure, and Russell ever gaining on this pack. So it's clear that he's not got any sort of damage. Really need Alonso to make a move soon. We've got to start our constructors charge, not let anyone pull away, as Norris sends one down the inside towards the end of sector 1 there. Still side by side with him as we go into the S's, but we're just going to back out, stay behind at the moment. Probably be the smartest thing to do anyway with the DRS. Russell almost right on the back of this pack, he's really pushing. side by side with Norris into the hairpin. Get the better exit because we're on the outside line and we're ahead at the final corner, but that means that he has the DRS down this pit straight now. We've got a bit more energy to burn off, and now it's all nearly burnt off, but it's enough to keep us ahead for now. As we go wide into turn 1, might want to look at lowering our pressures a little bit.
Okay, be careful.
Sainz and Ocon are both battling as well for that final points. Well, for the difference between 1 point, of course. P7 and P8. Sainz wins out that battle. Very interesting. As we're still side by side with Lando. Through the S section we go. What a lovely battle this is turning out to be, as Verstappen tries to look on the outside there. Can't get anything done. Try and save as much ERS as what we can before this kilometre long straight. Russell, I'm pretty sure he's within that DRS surely by now. We've got to not use our ERS just yet because we've got a lot less than what we used to having. But anyway. No move done this time round. Three laps to go of this sprint now. And it's still not decided at all. Well, Norris goes a little bit wide there. That's a very odd mistake for the AI to make at that corner. Corner exit. He feels the need to go defensive there. Not sure why. Sainz is really gapping Hamilton and Ocon in P7 in that V-carb. He's doing really, really well. Leclerc hasn't managed to make any more ground since we last checked on him. Still in P11. As we're nearly out of touch of Norris, which we can't afford to do whatsoever. Not at this stage of the race. I think we got that DRS. Yeah, we did, just about. That's good for us. Sorry guys.
Starting to catch the car in front, but we need to look after the tyres. We won't be making another pit stop.
Just running out of straight there.
The car behind is dropping back by about 0.3 a lap. Well done.
Trying something different with our line there through the corner. Try and get a better exit, but didn't really work too much. Got to try and save VRS and stay with Norris as much as we can. As we've dropped out of a second now. 2 minutes, guys. Don't think that we got the DRS that time. We're going to have to just use our overtake here to defend from Verstappen and to catch back up to Lando. As Alonso is coming speeding down the straight. Here he goes for the move on Verstappen. Verstappen goes for the move on us, sends it down the inside. There's contact. Surely he would have learnt from 2018, but obviously not. This is helping Norris get away. No positions have changed at the moment, but it could do into turn 1 as we go on to the final lap of the race. This is where it all matters. Verstappen gets through at turn 1, goes very tight to the apex of turn 1, compromises his line. We push him wide there, allows Alonso to get through. Some lovely teamwork by the two of us to try and get the best result as we can. They're still side by side there in the background as we go towards the end of sector 1. First third of this lap completed. Alonso is up into P3 now, so it's a double sprint podium at least for ourselves at Aston Martin. Whether it stays this way is another question. Of course, he could overtake us, or Verstappen could re-overtake him. We're not going to let that happen though. Alonso overtakes us, but that means that we've got the DRS. Means that Alonso hasn't got the DRS, but we have a very quick car in the straight line. Very quick. As we, wow, really closing on Alonso there, a bit too quickly. As Alonso has to go defensive from Verstappen there. They're still side by side as they're going to go into the final corner. Who will come out on top? Norris wins. Verstappen squeezes Alonso out, and we come home in second place.
Okay, good job, mate. Really, really well done. That was a fantastic drive. Bring it home.
So that wraps up the sprint race, but there's still more action yet to come this weekend. We've got qualifying and, of course, the Grand Prix.
So then, there's your results of the sprint race. Norris, a big gainer in that. There was many big gainers actually throughout that whole sprint. Yeah, he completely mugged us all, to be fair. But it's good points taken away from it. You know, we've outscored Red Bull in this sprint. Sainz brings home 2 points for VCarb, which is very good. Leclerc only stayed P11, but he still managed to fight his way through. And of course the 2 DNFs of Tsunoda and Piastri, they may have to take grid penalties going into the main race. So we've passed 2 of our goals, which is complete any session with the fastest lap. We've done that after Q1, and the achieve a position of 5th or better in qualifying, which we've managed to do in the sprint qualifying. So that will definitely level us up. If we complete this one, which is highly likely that we will, that will also level up for the first time. But I am going to leave it there. Join back. Make sure that well, I'll go in order first. Make sure you subscribe, turn on notifications so that you know that I am doing a live stream, and that you're able to join it, so you don't miss any of the action in the career mode. Because that sprint, it was exciting, wasn't it? It was very exciting, so you can't miss this qualifying and the race, because that will be surely more exciting than a sprint race. But yeah, turn on notifications, don't miss a post. I upload clips daily, and join back next time, where we'll do qualifying and the race for China, and maybe whatever's next, whatever race is next. What race is next? Hold on. Canada. So we might do Canada. I haven't done it on this year's game, so yeah, we might do Canada. But make sure to join back. As I said, turn on notifications so you don't miss it, and I'll see you next time.